It's a wonderful day today and a wonderful day for some more Am I the A-hole? The prince himself, Jin, is asleep next to me. He's a beautiful boy and he's doing well and he says hello and somehow I still have him in my hands. Are you freaking out yet, dude? A little bit more relaxed today. And yeah, having a good day today and I hope you guys are too. Subscribe if you want to and let's get straight into it. Update, am I the A-hole for refusing to cook after my boyfriend tried to critique my cooking with a PowerPoint presentation? Okay, the update that we've been waiting for. Hey Reddit, so it's been a wild ride since I posted my original story about my now ex and his infamous PowerPoint presentation critiquing my cooking. I can't thank you enough for all the support and the laughs and even the outrage on my behalf. Yeah, I was definitely outraged on your behalf, OP. Buckle up because here's the follow-up you didn't know that you needed. After reading your comments and taking some time to process what happened, I decided that our relationship needed a serious talk. I sat him down to discuss how his presentation came across as not just unfunny, but pretty disrespectful. You know, typical mature relationship stuff. Well, what does he do? He smirks and goes, I was prepared for this. He grabs his laptop, connects it to the TV again, and presents me with another PowerPoint titled How to Take a Joke. A comprehensive guide. Yeah, folks, he made a whole slideshow explaining why I needed to learn how to chill out and appreciate humor. Slide number 1 featured a meme of a clown putting on makeup with my name plastered all over it. Slide number 2, a bullet point list titled Why Your Overreaction is Hilarious. Slide number 3 was titled How I'm clearly the comedian in the relationship. This guy can't be serious. Surely he wanted you to break up with him. I struggle to believe that somebody could be this stupid. At this point, I was too stunned to speak. But then he pulled out slide number 6. Things you can do while not cooking because you're mad. The audacity, right? It was as if he really thought that he'd win me over with this next level presentation. Spoiler alert, he did not. So I did what any rational PowerPoint loving person would do. I made my own. I stayed up all night crafting a presentation called Why It's Time to Move On, a farewell guide. It had everything: flowcharts mapping his incompetence in the kitchen, pie charts illustrating my happiness before and after the great presentation debacle, and my personal favorite slide number 9, a gif of Gordon Ramsay yelling, "Get out." This morning I sat him down and I went through my PowerPoint with the same energy that he had given me. His reaction was priceless. He started with that same smirk but lost it somewhere around slide number 4. Top 10 reasons that you're moving out today. By the time I got to the resources for finding your own apartment slide, he was already packing a bag. Now, before anybody worries, yeah, he did actually leave. And no, I didn't even have to threaten him with slide number 12, which was a photo of me blocking the Wi-Fi router. So yeah, we broke up and I'm single, happy, and cooking meals for myself without any critique, except for my cat's judgmental stare. And to those who said I should make a breakup PowerPoint, just know that your wish has been fulfilled. I still can't believe how all of this went down over the course of a single weekend, but I now feel pretty good about myself. Thank you all for your comments and your support. P.S. Oh, and fun fact, some of you were right. He actually is a business consultant, so making PowerPoint presentations is literally his day job. I guess he took bringing work home to a whole new unwelcome level. Yeah, like the top comment says, I'm not sure if this wasn't the outcome that he wanted originally, given his behavior. Yeah, like did he do it on purpose? The second top comment says, this might be a how much can I get away with before they break up with me type of thing. Yeah, is it? Or are they the most unaware person that's ever existed? That's so bad. He had another PowerPoint ready for you that said how to take a joke. I don't even want to imagine that he's being serious. Like, you can't be that unaware, can you? And thank you, OP, for making a PowerPoint presentation to give back to him. That was so amazing to read. The audacity of him to say that you can't take a joke. Oh, I'm clearly the comedian in the relationship. Bro. Nah. Bro, you don't know what a joke is. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be an inconsiderate a-hole. Oh, but it's only a joke, and if you don't get it, I'm gonna make you another presentation about how you can't take a joke. I'm so happy that you didn't put up with this, OP. This story does seem a little bit too good to be true. Not saying that it didn't happen, but oh god, like that was so satisfying. It's a little bit too good. I really hope it did happen. I've got a little bit of doubt that it's not real, but whether it's real or not, it was so entertaining. And I'm sure people like this exist. Like, imagine being that rude and unaware to make the PowerPoint in the first place, but then to also make a follow-up PowerPoint. Like, that's such an issue that we read about all the time. People are super rude, but then they're like, oh, it's a joke. Why can't you take a joke? If you're doing something like this to somebody and they don't laugh, it's not a joke. If you're the only person amused about it, it's not funny. Yeah, this comment, in most relationships, having a sense of humor is considered important. What people always forget is that humor can vary widely in what people find amusing, or hysterical, or off-putting. Also, I did a college paper on the use of humor and bullying. At the end of it all, if you're not laughing, it wasn't funny. And it was meant to be bullying bullying or degrading or insulting, putting other people down. I mean, some folks can't read a room, but he was 2 for 2 with firing you up and not making you laugh. Sometimes it is better to be alone. Yeah, didn't make OP laugh even once, but oh yeah, I'm the comedian in the relationship. Yeah, you're better off alone, OP. Okay, post number 2 is called Am I the a-hole for telling stepsis to get over herself and people aren't required to be miserable just because she is? Wow, okay, I'm intrigued already. Stepsis Savannah is dead set on this fantasy that her biological parents will be together, if not for my dad, which is not the case at all. Savannah still won't open up even when I've tried everything to connect with her. Basically, it's always like this. I invited her to do something that I know she'd like. She'd rather stay home. I got her a gift, she doesn't want it, throws it away right in front of her sometimes. I sent her a funny video and she's flipping crap with her mum Jane because she thinks the video is about her and accuses me of making fun of her. Basically, Savannah's made it clear for 2 years now that she wants nothing to do with me, so I've given up and I just stay away from her at this point. Does that mean at this point? ATP at this point? I'm assuming that's what that means. Why do people abbreviate stuff that doesn't need to be abbreviated? My younger step siblings did want to have a bond, so we spent a lot of time together. The last straw with Savannah was when I invited them to have a sibling day with some friends. Savannah said that she didn't want her biological siblings to go. Step siblings wanted to go and parents approved, so we went. Savannah told me off when I got home because they're her biological siblings and not mine. I'm so fed up with it at this point. I told Savannah to get over herself. You're 15, not 5. Go ahead and keep ignoring your therapist and staying in your delusion where my dad is evil and ruined your family, but the world doesn't revolve around you and people are allowed to move on and be happy even if you decide that you want to be miserable all the time. Dad asked me if something was up because Savannah was obviously pissed and causing issues for everybody after, which is when I explained what happened. Dad basically said that he knows that we're frustrated with Savannah, but my delivery was mean. I think Dad's being too sensitive and coddling Savannah because even Jane is on my side. Savannah has a therapist but never listens to them and it's been years. Savannah's going to be a legal adult in 3 years and I think somebody needs to tell her straight. She's trying to force everybody else to be miserable, but nobody's going to tolerate that once she's out of school. Am I the gay hole? Okay, so there's got to be a lot of missing information here. I read that whole post and I barely even know what's going on. I'll see if OP has some comments here to give a little bit more context. OP said, here's the timeline. Savannah is 7. Biological parents divorced due to biological dad being a cheater and mentally abusive. Savannah is 8. Biological dad messes around and loses custody. She stopped seeing him. Savannah is 11. My dad meets Jane and they start dating. Savannah is 13. Parents marry and we're living together full time. 2 years after and we're at today. Savannah has this fantasy that her biological parents would have gotten back together someday if my dad hadn't have come along and ruined it by remaining, even though Jane, which is their mum, made it very clear from the beginning that she would never get back with Savannah's biological dad, and all the reasons why, which is why I support 100%. Right, okay. OP also said in a comment that they're 16. There's a comment that says, not the a-hole, you're both young teens. Teens have a problem with regulating their emotions in a good way and expressing themselves in a proper way. Were you harsh in the way that you talk to your stepsister? Yeah, but it doesn't make you an a-hole. Your parents are the ones that should address this and tell her to be civil to you and the other siblings. She doesn't have to love you, but being respectful and civil when interacting with you is a minimum. Her mum should address her thoughts and dreams. Maybe it's time to explain that even if she breaks up with your dad, she's never going to go back to the biological dad. OP said Dad and Jane are doing their best. They've tried respecting her space and trying to include it and talks about respect. Savannah's also been in therapy 2 times a week since her biological parents divorced. Savannah wants to keep living in her delusion. The divorce happened when Savannah was 7 and she hasn't seen her biological dad since she was 8. Jane made it extremely clear from the beginning that she and biological dad were never getting back together and why. No, by the sounds of it, you're not the a-hole, OP. It doesn't really feel like anything that you said was unreasonable either. This comment says not the a-hole. I was thinking that you were 20 or 21, but to be this aware at 16 is awesome. Yeah, she absolutely can feel any way that she wants to, but it's not okay to drag you guys with her. She needed to be told that, and you did that. If what you wrote is pretty much what you said, that's a more mature response than some adults would do. No, you don't need to tolerate her any longer. Yeah, sorry, I don't know why that one was so confusing for me. Sometimes I read these and I'm like, what did I just read? Well, the next one, my boyfriend is insisting that we get married. I, 20 female, have been dating my boyfriend, 22 male, for 6 months. Oh, 6 months and wants to get married. Oh, okay. Recently, it has been brought to the government's attention that he's not a citizen of the country that we reside in. Currently, he's at risk for deportation back to his home country. He suggested the idea that we should get married so that he can increase his chances of staying in the country. Note, I'm currently enrolled in post-secondary education and I still live with my parents, so this option is not very plausible for me. He insists that we get a marriage license in which I don't have to inform my parents about it and just follow through with it for the time it could take to approve his status. This could take months to years years to complete, and it requires me to change my last name for every legal document, driver's license, financial aid, banking. I continuously tell him that I'm not interested in following through with the idea. He insists that because I'm his girlfriend, I'm obligated to do this for him. No, you're not. Even though I tell him no, he keeps on insisting. Yeah, well, that's too bad. You're not obligated to do anything. Yeah, the top comment, do not do that. You aren't obligated to this life-altering thing for him, especially after only 6 months. Not the a-hole, and stay strong. Yeah, this is not something that you do just to help out your partner of 6 months, by the way. Like this comment says, not the a-hole. You do not owe him to get married. Yeah, you don't owe him anything. You're not obligated to do anything. And he actually said, I'm obligated to do this for him. No, you are not. Of course, you're not in the wrong, OP, and you're not obligated to do anything. The audacity to try to pressure you into this too. Oh, you're obligated to do this because you're my girlfriend. No, definitely not. Post number 4 is called, am I the a-hole for refusing to let my parents live with me after they loaned me money to buy my house? About a year ago, I, 29 male, bought my first home. My parents generously offered me 20 grand towards the down payment, which they framed as a gift. I was extremely grateful as they knew that I'd been saving for years and I wanted a place to call my own. I'd even invited them to celebrate with me the day that I got my keys and everything seemed fine. But let me guess, they held it above you because they gave you money and it wasn't really a gift. Fast forward to 3 months ago, my dad lost his job unexpectedly and my mum's part-time work isn't enough to support them. They called me up one day and they casually mentioned that they'd be moving in with me until they get back on their feet. I was stunned as they'd never asked me, they just assumed. When I hesitated, they reminded me of the 20 grand they'd given me and said that it was time that I paid them back by helping them out. This was news to me. They'd repeatedly assured me it was a gift, no strings, and that they were just happy to help me achieve my dream of home ownership. Now they're calling it a loan, even though there was never any mention of repayment, let alone interest, or expectation of them moving in someday. I was hesitant, but I was willing to talk about it, and I suggested they stay temporarily. They dismissed it and said that they'd be moving in indefinitely. No, they won't, until things turn around, adding they'd expect full access to the house and even suggested taking over my office as their bedroom. OP, you are so not the a-hole. They also told me that they'd like to have more say in how I run my home. After all, they helped me pay for it. No. They can't tell you that they're gonna move in. That's so not okay. You didn't even ask. Like, I'm sure you don't have 20 grand sitting around, OP, because you just bought a house. But in a perfect situation, you'd give them that money back and you'd be like, okay, I don't owe you anything. And I'm sure you wouldn't have even took the 20 grand if you knew that they were gonna hold it over your head like this, OP. They sound awful. Feeling cornered, I explained that while I love them and I'll gladly help in other ways, like paying some of their bills temporarily or letting them stay for a set period, I was not comfortable with them moving in indefinitely. This is my home, my sanctuary, and I've worked hard for it. They were furious, saying that I was ungrateful and that families should support each other. They also claimed that since they invested in the house, they're entitled to live in it as long as they need. No, you're bloody not. You're not entitled to anything, parents. Houses are not 20 grand. You do not have ownership of this house. Like, yeah, really generous of you to help out, but also not really if this is how you're gonna act. The parents suck. My dad even hinted that he'd take me to court if I didn't pay back their loan, though I'm fairly certain that he was bluffing. Now several family members have weighed in saying that I'm the a-hole for turning my back on my parents after they helped me to buy a house. But I feel like they changed the terms after the fact, and I don't think it's fair to demand indefinite housing when that was never part of the deal. So am I the a-hole for refusing to let my parents move in after they loaned me the down payment? No, of course not. And they only gave you the money so they can hold it over you and have control over you, OP. Like, did your dad really lose his job, OP? Or did he want to lose his job? This sounds very, very planned. This comment says, if I was in your shoes, I'd take out a loan for what they gave you and hand the money to them. Tell them you're done and walk away. 1,000,000%. Like, whoa, sorry, I didn't realize that you were going to be such an a-hole and hold this money over me forever. You can keep your money and get the hell out of here. Like, for real, OP. Yeah, okay, here's your money. I don't owe you anything. Goodbye. The money wasn't worth it if this is how they're going to act. They're literally acting like it's their house as well. The audacity. This comment says, not the a-hole. It sounds like there's something pretty significant that's missing here. How did your father go from being able to give you 20 grand a year ago to being on the verge of homelessness 3 months ago? I get the feeling that there's more to it than losing his job. Regardless, if you let them through your door, they're never gonna leave. I don't know what's going on in terms of the dynamic between you and them, but they sound like they're very manipulative and entirely dishonest. Yeah, you're getting taken for a ride here, OP. None of this was an accident. Oh yeah, remember that money that I lent you? Yeah, that money means that I can control you, and it means that we're entitled to live in your house for as long as we want to. And you know that home office that you've been so excited about? Yeah, screw that. That's going to be our bedroom, okay? You've got some really sneaky, slimy parents, OP. And also the other family members that are giving their opinion, completely disregard that, OP. None of that even matters. They don't even know what's going on, which is very typical to this sort of story. Oh, the family members that don't even know what the hell's going on are giving their 2 cents and calling me an a-hole. Get out of here, family members. But yeah, like that comment said, if I were you, OP, I would get a loan out and I'd give them the 20 grand back and I'd tell them to take a hike. What, so because they helped you with the down payment, they have free reign to treat you like crap? No. OP said, I've actually been considering that exact option. It's frustrating because they originally insisted the money was a gift, but if paying them back fully is going to restore boundaries, it might be worth it. I'd have to adjust my budget and take on extra debt, but that feels like a better solution than constantly having to defend my space or argue over my independence. Thank you. That money was not worth this. And also, they originally insisted the money was a gift on purpose. Like, oh, we're so generous, here's this money. Oh, you accept the money? Yeah, well, now I own you. No strings attached my ass. There's strings attached everywhere. But yeah, all the best with it, OP. The next one says, am I the a-hole for going behind my wife's back and telling her pregnant sister that she's being cheated on? I've been married to my wife for 3 years. I'm 27 and she's 26. My sister-in-law is 30 and my piece of crap brother-in-law is 31. I always had a close relationship with my sister-in-law. We are friends. Also has a decent connection between my brother-in-law. Not that close, but we often talk and get along. My wife and her sister didn't get along as much as you would expect from siblings. It wasn't just normal sibling rivalry, but constant fights and arguments. Anyway, 3 weeks ago when I was having dinner with my friends, I saw my brother-in-law with another woman. They were just eating. I didn't think much of it. I wanted to go and greet him, but I kept talking to my friends. After a while, I saw that he gave a light kiss to this woman, and I was so shocked. I decided to not confront him, and when I got back home, I told my wife everything. I told her that her sister is getting cheated on, and we need to tell her. My wife said that we should talk to my brother-in-law instead of telling her sister, and we should not break their marriage because her sister is pregnant. I was like, what the hell? So what if she's pregnant? Her husband is a cheat. I tried to convince my wife multiple times that we should tell her sister. I told her that I know you guys don't get along, but she's still your sister, and this isn't right. But she asked me to stay out of it. I tried my best to convince my wife, but she either ignored me or said that we shouldn't break their marriage. I'd had enough of her, and yesterday I told her that I'm coming clean to my sister-in-law. She and I have a great bond, and I can't and won't betray her. My wife said if I tell her the truth, she won't talk to me. I replied that I won't talk to you either if you don't want to do what's right. So today I told my sister-in-law the truth. I went to her place and I told her everything. She was doubtful and she asked me to leave. After a few hours, my sister-in-law called me and she was crying and said what I said was the truth and she shouldn't have doubted me and kicked me. She said that she's gonna leave him. I asked her, where would you go? Do you have money? She said that she does, but not that much. I wired her a bit and I said she could call me if she needs help. And she thanked me and said that she'll only use the money I sent if it's necessary. Otherwise, she's gonna return it. My brother-in-law called my wife and well, my wife lashed onto me and said that I ruined her family and her sister's life. Oh, I'm not liking your wife, OP. Is your wife a cheater? I said I thought the moment we got married, your family is mine and my family is yours. Anyway, why the hell are you defending that piece of crap so much? What about your sister? She didn't reply to me and she's not talking to me either. I tried to convince her that it was the right thing to do, but she wouldn't talk to me. So I said, fine, stay angry. And if you want to divorce me, then go ahead. I think I've nuked my marriage. I don't know if what I said was truly right. Your wife is supporting a cheater. Is your wife a cheater? Yeah, this comment, not the a-hole. Your wife's stance regarding cheating is worrisome. My brother-in-law called my wife and well, my wife lashed onto me and said I ruined her family and her sister's life. Why did the piece of crap call your wife? A normal reaction would have been to confront you directly. Yeah, like this comment says too, not the a-hole. Your wife is the one to watch. Red flag. Yeah, and also like this comment says, your wife is sus. Defending a cheater and blaming you. Yeah, and also he called her immediately. This comment says, not the a-hole. Either she's cheating with the brother-in-law or just cheating. Yeah, there's something going on. This comment says, why did your brother-in-law call your wife? Did he call her for support? Why would he do that? I see no logical reason for him to call her in this situation unless she was aware of the cheating and covering for him. Yeah, I feel like she had to have been. That's so suspicious, OP. If OP's wife is also cheating, that's so disgusting. Yeah, okay, let's read something wholesome. I've read enough about people that make me sad today. We've read enough concerning or scummy or red flag sort of stuff. Whenever I'm on the toilet, my cat holds his paw on my foot to make me feel safe. Isn't that so beautiful? I bet you're not a scummy, cheater, beautiful kitty cat. It's so nice to read wholesome memes after what we read today. Also, like OP's wife might not be cheating, but there's definitely something going on. And also this wholesome meme. Rudy time. I wish it was Rudy time all the time. Yeah, look at little Rudy. So beautiful. The most lovable little face ever. Okay, I'm out of here. thank you for the support, everybody. I hope you had a wonderful time today. If you did, make sure you let me know down below and also subscribe if you want to. And the comment of the day today goes to Amanda. I know it won't be convenient placement, but you should put a cat tree next to your seat. Then we can see them sleeping next to you in frame. Much love and thank you for all you do. Thank you for that comment. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I was definitely thinking this too, like right here next to me or something, or right behind me so that you can see them in like every single shot. That's definitely a good idea and I will look into this. I'd love it if it was right behind me so that you could see the cats all the time, even when I'm in the split screen when I'm reading the post. Yeah, thank you for that comment, Amanda. I'm definitely going to look into this. And thank you all for watching, everybody. I'll see you in tomorrow's episode. So make sure you look after yourself and make sure you have a beautiful, amazing rest of your day. And you know what I'm about to say because I say it every single day. Bye!